All right, it is 7:30 and we have a quorum. For the record, the 203-849-9835 phone number belongs to Peter Holliday, one of the commissioners. So we are going to call this meeting to order at 7:30. I'm going to share the agenda, and the first thing on the agenda is reviewing the minutes of last week's meeting. Hold on one second while I pull that up.
Good evening, everyone.
Mr. Pride, good evening. All right. So has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes of the meeting? They were in the packet that was sent earlier tonight by Carlos.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. And we will go through the minutes, and if there are any amendments, please make
No.
them. Right. Any changes on page 1?
Yes. Well,
Yes?
is that apostrophe after Penn Williams' name? Is that part of the correction or is that part of the issue?
It is a possessive. It's the name that belongs to Miss Penn Williams. So they put the apostrophe, because her name ends in an S, they put the apostrophe after the S. So that is grammatically correct. Fran, I have a change though. In attendance, Fran Collier Clemens, afterwards it should say vice chair, as Fran is our vice chair after Fran Collier Clemens. Anything else on page 1? Anything on page 2?
Well, on page 2, there's no hyphen in Collier Clemens.
Correct.
I don't know whether that's a correction or
That
a
is a correct.
mistake.
That's something we need to correct. Yep. So put the hyphen there, and it looks like it is throughout the rest. So, but there's a hyphen
then-
missing in Penn Williams.
Yes.
Yep. Anything else? Right. Hearing no other changes, I'll take a motion.
Sonia Oliver, motion to approve.
Sam,
And
second.
I have Sam as the second, Sonia as the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. All right. Next order of business is my report, I believe. Yeah. So I wanted to wish everybody a happy new year. Thank you all for joining today in this warm but rainy January day. Looking forward to a great 2023. I am excited to introduce to everybody. You can see a new face on the screen, I'm sure you've noticed. And I'm excited to introduce everybody to Carlos Duke, excuse me if I've mispronounced your name, sir, who is our new Fair Rent coordinator. And I'm looking forward to hearing his introduction to everybody. And of course, we still have Lamont here and we'll continue to work with him as well, but Carlos is going to be taking on a majority of the Fair Rent department's work, and that's really wonderful, and we're glad to have him aboard. I hope that everybody had a great holiday season and had a chance to spend time with their family, and hopefully we're healthy and everybody's doing well. And that's the end of my report, and I turn it over to Carlos for the coordinator's report.
Good evening, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself to those who haven't met me yet and to reintroduce myself to those who have. I'm the new Fair Rent coordinator for the city of Norwalk. A little bit about my background. I spent 15 years in the United States Marine Corps. I got out in 2016. During my time in the Marine Corps, I did a lot of administrative work. I was deployed overseas also as a personal security officer. I was the legal chief, different battalions and units, to include Marine Forces Europe and Marine Forces Africa, where I dealt with investigations. I dealt with a lot of legal jargon, a lot of legal paperwork, very similar to what this job entails. I feel that my experience translate very well to this new position, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, serving has been in my blood for as long as I can remember, from serving my country to serving the city of New York, and now I am very lucky to serve the city of Norwalk as the fair rent coordinator. And I'm, again, extremely happy and fortunate to be here and to work alongside Lamont Daniels, Anna Vivian, and everyone else here at City Hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to meet Carlos yet, I strongly recommend you maybe set up time and head down to City Hall to have a chance to say hi to him and just introduce yourselves. I've had a chance to meet with him, and he's really enthusiastic about it, and has, I think, a background that's going to be very helpful for this. Lamont, were you saying something? Or?
I apologize. I was still off mute, but I would like to say something, Chair, once you have a moment.
No, go right ahead.
Sure. I just want to say to the commissioners, on behalf of Mayor Rowling and myself and the department, I just want to thank you for your patience. I know, we struggle to identify or to hire someone, and we had very close attempts to hire someone. But I think you will be very pleased and very pleased that we were able to bring on Carlos Duque, who is just really amazing, and have an opportunity to Chair's comments, to have an opportunity to meet with him. We're just really excited of the level of experience he brings, and both his commitment to our residents in this role. We now have a full-time person, and over time you will hear him talk about the many walk-ins that actually come in. I mean, even today when I left the office, someone was sitting in his office, and this is exactly what we had envisioned. We just had some challenges trying to fill that position for a variety of reasons, the pandemic and the skill set. So we're excited. And then also, I will be eventually phasing out, and so again, Chair, through you, if I can also introduce Anna Vivian Estrella, who will be supervising Carlos and that entire department. And I don't know, Anna Vivian, if you ever spoken to this group, so it would also be good to introduce yourself and the background and expertise you bring, just so both the commissioners and the public that will be watching this and viewing this, and those that we would encourage that if you feel that your rent has been increased unfairly, to know that you can count on your city, specifically the Human Services Department, and either file a complaint or just be educated. And then also to the landlords, we also serve our landlords to inform them of what the commission's role is, and want to partner with landlords to ensure that that there's a partnership both with our landlords and our tenants. And so, Chair, through you, if I can have Anna Vivian share a little bit, and then we'll turn it back over to the agenda. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you for working with me, for being patient with me. Just thank you so much. It really means a lot, and you stuck it out and served well. But you are now in good hands. It's my pleasure to then pass the torch over to the new team that'll be working with you moving forward. So thank you.
I think I speak for the entire commission, Lamont, when we say thank you for working through this and supporting the commission through the last couple of years. I know that they were challenging in a number of ways, and so we appreciate your assistance and support throughout. I will, I think, consider Anna Vivian to be part of the coordinator's report, so we don't need to add in a new line item to the agenda.
Great.
And Anna Vivian, I will introduce you, or you can introduce yourself and welcome you to the Fair Rent Commission.
Well, thank you. And I'm happy to be part of the coordinator's report. So I'm Anna Vivian Estrella, and unfortunately, due to quorum and all those things, we haven't had a chance for me to meet you virtually. And I know when John met with Carlos, I unfortunately was homesick. So unfortunately I wasn't able to attend, but I do look forward to meeting all of you individually, and I have met some of you in person, and it's been my pleasure. So my role is the Director of Human Services for the City of Norwalk. So I report directly to Lamond, and Carlos will be reporting to me. And a little bit about my background is that I have my MSW, so I'm a Master's of Social Work, but I'm also a lawyer. So and I'm able to practice law in the state of Connecticut, and I do pro bono work on the side outside of my city function. But in this role, I'll be supervising Carlos with Russell and making sure that he gets up to speed. But I really am so pleased that he was willing and able and joined our team, because he's already shown a lot of passion for the work that is Fair Rent. And I, to just ditto what Lamont said, when the walk-ins come in, customer service, and just really informing people about what their rights are, and landlords that come in with questions. And we've developed a new reporting mechanism. So Carlos in the future will be able to tell you exactly how many people have walked in, what kind of inquiries they've made. It is mirrored based off of old reports, but we'll be able to share a level of detail that I don't think we've had in past years. And so I do look forward to also assisting Carlos and being able to bring that to you in this committee. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, it's time to review open cases. I don't believe, did we have any open cases? I thought we had cleaned out most of them last time.
We don't have any.
No open
I
cases.
have a question. So
Go ahead,
Anna,
Brenda.
you and Lamont are gonna continue to come to the meetings?
I believe I'm on schedule to continue to come to the meetings as I can attend. I will just put a little disclaimer. I have 3 small children. I have 3 under 3. So the only time I wouldn't be able to attend is if I'm sick or they're sick, but my plan is to be present during the meetings as well.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you. All right. Seeing as how there are no open cases, we will go to presentation of new cases, which is 1818-22, and I'll turn it over to Attorney Liskov.
Good evening, everybody. Russell Liskov. The one and only matter before you right now is known as 1818-22. It's regarding 106 West Cedar Street, apartment 402. This is a building that has controls on what the landlord is allowed to charge for rent. Under the old lease, the tenant was paying $1,545 a month, and then her recertification was supposed to be for November, going to $1,595 a month. Meanwhile, in the interim, the building was sold to a new landlord. Then the new landlord sends the tenant out a demand for a new rent of, if you ask the landlord, $2,100. If you ask the tenant, she says $2,400. Meanwhile, we're working back and forth to see if her recertification happened, because the tenant says that she sent her recertification notices out well before the sale and everyone's looking for them. Unfortunately, the old landlord is gone to the wind. So I am working with the new landlord to see what I can do with him and with her. So I think that this matter probably qualifies for the Fair Rent Commission. So I am making a recommendation that we hear the case. We've reviewed the complaint that came in on December 19th. We mailed letters to the landlord, and I've talked to the tenant more often than the landlord. We tried to get a hold of the landlord again today, but he did not get back to us. So I will pester the landlord in the interim, but I would recommend that we accept the case to your docket.
Daniel recommends to hear the case.
Fran Collier Clemens, okay, second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Russell just said the current rent is $1,595, but this says $1,591. Is it $1,591 or $1,595? That
$1,595. Carlos was going to correct that. He probably didn't get a chance to get to today. He's working real hard. He has a lot of foot traffic coming through that apartment. A lot of foot traffic coming through that department.
okay, so it's $1,595. That was supposed to be her new certified amount based on which she agreed upon with the old landlord.
That's correct.
Okay.
Can I just have
The question
Telesco
is,
for the purpose
what
of,
was the recertification? How long
Recertification,
ago was it research?
I'm sorry, November 1st, 2022.
Excuse me, August 22?
August
November.
1, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. It is November 1st, 2022.
Okay, so, and then after that, they sold it?
Yes, they did. There was a transfer of the property and the new landlord comes along and says, I want you to go to, as I said, if you ask the new landlord, he says 2,100. If you ask the tenant, in her complaint, she says 2,400.
Either way,
Oh, okay, so I'm glad you said staff recommends to hear. We need to hear that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very twisty, turny, fact-driven matter. But as I said, I think I'm gonna have my way with the landlord to make him do the right thing. But I would ask that you hear the case.
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, we're gonna hear this case. Good.
Okay. Let me just
Seeing no other new cases, we will
Can I-
move
can I
on to the
say-
next. Yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead.
just say a couple of, we did get in two more applications over the last day or so. I reviewed them. I've spoken to people. They will be, if they don't get resolved, they will be on your, they will be before you next month to be able to be heard. I just want to say that I've been working with Carlos. He's doing a great job. He has a lot of energy. He has a very nice way with the people that are coming in. He's very kind. And he's very considerate of the people, and he just has a nice way about him. And people are liking him very much. And he has an excellent feel for what to do. He has excellent instincts. And every time that we come in and we talk, he's learning more and more of the law in the state of Connecticut. And he has a very high ability to learn things. So if you ever need anything from him, and you need to look anything up for him, he will be able to find things for you. And when he needs to lean on me to ask questions, I'm there for him. And I've really enjoyed working with him so far. And I think he's going to be a great asset to the city of Norwalk. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Russell.
So the question is, Russell, is this your last meeting? Or are you gonna continue?
Oh, I think Lamond wants me, and Anna Vivian want me. I think Carlos wants me.
Okay, okay,
And we want you too, Russ.
okay.
I thank you. As I said, my goal is to not ring the bell hard. It's just to give good advice to the commission and to help out and keep your cases moving and keep the people of the city of Norwalk, between the landlords and the tenant, happy and within the bounds of the law, and help you guys to do the right thing by everybody. So I thank you for wanting me, and it's nice to be wanted.
All right. Next item on the agenda, is there any old business to discuss? Hearing none. Any new business? I mean, there's a lot of new business, but I think we've addressed most of it. All right, then I'll take a motion.
I
Sonia
move
Martin,
to
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Oh, I had heard three of you. I'm going to give it to Sonia.
Fran Collier Clemens second.
And Fran gets the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody. Get out of here.
Good night.
Good night.
See you all in February. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.